Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2024, the album. Dad, shimmy, shimmy, AF. Players only love you when they're playing. Boost! So I was on the way home from my haircut. I got my haircut today. She asked me, she said, do you mean putting product in it? I said no. But anyway, so I was on the way home from my haircut today in my Lyft because Uber takes too long to get here, so I'm doing Lyft now. But Indianapolis, most of the Uber drivers are also Lyft drivers. Most of the Lyft drivers are Uber drivers. I don't get it. I don't really understand it, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I always have the nicest Uber and Lyft drivers. And so on the way home, I had this Lyft driver, and she was playing all this music and stuff like that, and we were talking, and in the background was a Fleetwood Mac song, and I started snapping to it, because, you know, I love the Fleetwood Mac so much, I do. And so she started to turn up the music, and I go, did you turn that music up for me? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I could tell you really like the song. And I go, oh my God, I love Fleetwood Mac so much. And she goes, have you ever heard the Fleetwood Mac cover band that comes out to Conner Prairie? Now, let me just tell you what Conner Prairie is, okay? Conner Prairie is this prairie settlement that when I was like in 3rd and 4th grade, we went to for a field trip when I was in elementary school. You go out there for like a field trip. It's like this prairie settlement and stuff like that, right? But they also have this thing called Symphony on the Prairie. Apparently now, and you can bring like, they get real boozed up out there. You can bring picnics and you can bring all kinds of booze out there. And she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I drive to my friend. She lives right across the street from Conner Prairie. And then we walk across the street and she goes, I get real smashed and I just stay over her house. I drive home the next day. I was like, oh, that's a good time. It's Fleetwood Mac cover band. You're getting smashed out at the prairie. So anyway, that's what you do in Indiana in the summertime. If you're from Indiana, you'll know what I'm talking about when you talk about Symphony on the Prairie. Because the Symphony, the Indianapolis Symphony, they pray at the prairie. They pray and they play at the prairie, okay? Little House in the Prairie. Na, 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 na. But anyway, so I was so excited to hear about this Fleetwood Mac cover band. Then she was telling me about this other cover band. She's like, do you like music like that? I was like, you know I do. She's like, it's better than this music today. And I was like, yeah, like James Charles and JoJo COA better than that music any day. And so we were talking about Steely Dan and Led Zeppelin and the Grateful Dead. And we were talking about all the music that we were raised on because she was about the same age as me. And I was telling her that my mom used to listen to all that music, and I can remember when my dad got the Rumors album, and on and on and on, and I can remember my mom just like, you know, crying and smoking cigarettes and listening to that Rumors album, and I just remember all that. You know, back in the day, I used to love that Tusk, not one of my favorite albums by Fleetwood Mac, but I do love Fleetwood Mac. See, that's where you can say, like, you have a favorite that maybe, like, not one of their albums, you like them, but that album is probably not your favorite. You know, like the Beyonce fans and the Taylor Swift fans, they have to love every single song they put out. I've been talking about this in a couple of my videos now, you know. But like Tusk, not one of my favorites. Not at all, okay? So anyway, but the Rumors album, oh my God, that's what put them on the map. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we were talking about that, and then I came home, and I was like singing, you know, the Fleetwood Mac and things like that. And my neighbor, she was out in the yard working. Now, if you watch my vlog, I think I did a field trip. Was it yesterday or maybe the day before? But so the electric company, the gas company, and the cable company, they came and they laid lines this summer. We don't really know what that means. What it means is that they destroyed our yards is what it means, basically. Well, not really so much my yard, although I do have a small beach over there because instead of sand, instead of seed, they decided to lay sand. I don't know why, but I have a little bit of a beach over there, okay? You don't have no ocean on it or lake or river or anything like that. It's just sand right in the middle of my yard. I don't really know why they did that. But anyway, across the street, my neighbor, she's got these 2 holes in her yard, and they're about 2 feet, 3 feet deep, and they covered them up with this wood that's like falling apart. You know, it looks like one of them abandoned houses in The Walking Dead. Don't even get me started on that. I'm like binge watching The Walking Dead because I watched it up to season 7, and now I'm watching season 7, which might be the most boring season of The Walking Dead ever. I actually even Google searched last night, which is the most boring season of The Walking Dead, and 7 and 8 came up, and I thought, oh, hell's bells, now I gotta finish 7 and 8 so I can get to 9, 10, 11 and finish this damn series, right? So anyway, but, so her yard is so bad. I feel so bad for her, right? And so they told us originally that the electric company, the first company that came out here, they're the ones that did the buffoonery of the yards, right? That they were going to fix this. They were going to come out here and they were going to patch the holes up. They were going to seed them and all this kind of stuff. And now we have this new landscaping company. Don't even get me started about this. Okay? It's 2 men with a riding lawnmower, supposedly. But anyway, so they're out here today too, and they can't cut around there, and like her garden is being destroyed. And so what I'm looking at right now, okay, next to the electrical box, is 2 holes in the ground covered up by fallen apart wood, okay? And then around it, they've got this orange plastic fencing on 4 poles that are all falling into the holes. And we've been talking about how, like, you know, people walk down the street with their little kids. They walk, you know, run in and out of the yards. And there's dogs that run around here, little animals. And we're like, somebody could, like, fall into one of these holes. It could be really sadly, you know? So anyway, we found out because they put the newsletter out. Don't you love the HOA newsletter? If you live in an HOA, that's a violation. That's a violation. If you live in an HOA, okay, those HOA TikToks that you see are 100% the real deal, okay? Which is why yesterday my neighbors came across the street and we planted my hostas. So I got 5 hostas now. I had like 4, but now 4 total. But now I got 5 on this side, 5 on that side, and I cleaned up all the weeds in my yard. It looks so gorgeous. You have to go over my vlog from yesterday and look at it. But it looks so gorgeous. I'm so excited. Now I just got to get the dark mulch that I want from this year, and then flowers all over my patio. Spring and summer starting early over here, right? So we found out in the newsletter, because the management company, see, there's the HOA, that's the Homeowners Association. When I explain this to people, they're like, you don't really pay that much a month. We pay $452 a month. They're like, you don't really pay, we pay $452 a month, don't we? She just went like this. She, what?
$465 a month.
Is it $465? That's when you pay it online because you have to pay the $9.99 extra, right?
No, I didn't opt for the $9.99. I have mine paid.
So it's $465 a month now?
Yes, it was $451 last year.
Oh, that's right.
They upped it.
$13.
Yeah, I pay it through my bank, so I don't pay that extra surcharge, because that's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. I agree with you. That's why I'm going to run for HOA President. Do I have your vote? She not.
I had to leave that.
I know you had to leave the HOA. I know. I'm not just joking about that. I'm not really running. But I did call the electric company, and they're coming out here to fix that.
Good.
I just took care of that for her. So,
Good.
Well, you enjoy your walk.
That's a hazard. If somebody was drunk or just got lost, they'd end up in the hole and break their
Absolutely, and we have a lot of drunk old people in this neighborhood, and we need to worry about them. That's gonna be my campaign right there. Drunk old people, we gotta protect them. Have a good one. So anyway, so in the newsletter, see, okay, so we have an HOA, and that's a homeowners association. She used to be on the board. She's not on the board anymore. She said, I'm done with the board. So we have a homeowners association, right? Okay, so that's like a board that they have. There's like secretaries, treasurers, presidents, vice presidents, stuff like that. It's been an ongoing joke that I'm gonna run for the HOA president, but no, truly, I think I am, because I got something taken care of today in 5 minutes that they couldn't get taken care of in 3 weeks. So anyway, so there's the HOA. Then there's a management company. We pay the management company to take care of our neighborhood, okay? So the management company is the one that was working with the electrical company, saying that they were going to come out here and they were going to fix this once they were done. They had a million flags in our yard and stuff like that, right? Well, they were done and they left, and then the management company's like, what? Who? We don't know what to do anymore. Like, we don't know what to do about all this kind of stuff, right? I didn't even think about drunk old people in my neighborhood. I was thinking about kids and little dogs getting worried, trapped in the hole. I think about, I don't know what part of this neighborhood I know where she lives. She lives down by the pool. That must be where all the drunk old fun people are, down by the pool, okay? But I wasn't worried about drunk people, you know, like Robbie DeChristie back in the day when she was on that brand trip and she was I Will Survive karaoke, you know? That's still one of my favorite moments in time of covering drama back in the day. Oh my God. But anyway, I have not seen that many drunk old people in this neighborhood that I'd be worried about them falling down the holes, you know, things like that. But maybe, I guess. But anyway. So the newsletter comes out and it says, because a management company originally told us that they were working on it and an electric company was going to come out here and they were going to fix these holes and stuff. On the other side of the neighborhood, this one gal, her entire yard is all dug up and there's rocks. They just left rocks, okay? Like gravel. They just left that in her yard. She's like, so I don't get a yard anymore and I'm paying I guess it's $665. $465. So people don't understand this, right? And they're like, you don't pay $465. We pay $465 a month, okay? And that is like above average for Indianapolis, but it's kind of average for a condo association, okay? You pay it every month. They take care of your yard, snow removal, pool, tennis court, all that kind of stuff. They pay for everything on the outside. So the condos, the painting, the maintenance, anything on the outside of the condo, they're responsible for at that $465. Anything on the inside, you're responsible for, except for your patio and your walkway, okay? You get to do all that yourself. But everything else they're responsible for. The maintenance of the neighborhood, the trees, the tree trimming, all that kind of stuff, the pool, the neighborhood maintenance, all that kind of stuff, the safety, because we have like, you know, police and a gate and all that kind of stuff. So they're responsible for all that. It's $465 a month. People are like, you really pay that a month? I didn't know. I thought it was $452. I guess, well, it went up $13. I couldn't remember what it went up. So she said it's $465. Okay, true story. That's what we pay a month, right? So the management company said they can't get a hold of anybody at the electrical company, so now it falls on us. And so the landscaping manager, I mean, listen, none of these people... You know, the question should be how many people on an HOA board does it take to screw in a light bulb? Okay, because they're supposed to replace our light bulbs on they're called coach lights, which I don't even know why we call them that. My mom called them sconces. But anyway, how many HOA members does it take to screw in a light bulb? It should be like all of them, okay, because they can't figure out nothing to save their lives, right? And so anyway, so now it falls on the landscaping manager committee, and she's like, well, I guess we're just going to fix it ourselves. Well, that was like a week ago that came out, and they still haven't fixed this hole over here, and they still haven't fixed this gal's gravel thing, right? But the HOA manager, landscaping manager, let me just tell you, her yard, oh man, it looks good. Her yard looks fantastic, okay? She ain't worried about over here, because this is across the lake and through the woods to grandmother's house we go, over here, okay? So I was talking to my neighbor yesterday because she was helping me with the hostas. She was so nice. I woke up yesterday and she had already like dug up some of my hostas and put them in these buckets. And she's like, we got to plant these today or they'll be bad. And so came home from brunch yesterday and we got out here and planted the hostas. And I kept on looking over there because I, you know, shown it on video and I've gone over there and I said, I feel so bad for you. Like, you can't even do your garden. Your yard is bad. Plus, it's not even just her yard. It's the neighbor on the corner. It's their yard, too. Who, and I adore them. She's my pool friend. We closed down the pool last year. So I said, well, tomorrow I'm going to call the management company. I'm going to call the electrical company. I'm going to get this taken care of. And she was like, would you really do that for me? And she was like, I would really appreciate that because I don't know who to call and who to ask. And she's like, I'm just kind of waiting for the management company or the landscaping, somebody to fix it. I go, no, I'll get on it, right? So I was trying to film this video out here earlier, but they've been doing our yards today, so it was real loud and stuff like that. Louder than me, okay? Louder than me. So anyway, I'm sitting out here, and my neighbor, I talked to her when I first came home from my haircut and things like that, and she was like, did you talk to the management company today? And I said, no, because she said she was going to call too, and I said, I haven't yet, because I was going to film this video, and she was like, okay. She was like, well, you go film your video, and I said, well, no, because it's too loud out here right now, and she was like, and I said, I'll call for you right now, and she was like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. So I called the management company. Of course, the director of the management company, she's gone, probably at a lunch and learn conference or something about how to poorly manage a community is probably what it is. All they need to teach at those conferences is how to put out an email, because we get 15,000 emails a month, okay, about water being shut off and they're going to do this and they promise that, and none of that ever follows through, right? So now I'm fired up, okay, and I leave a message, a very nice message on her, you know, I'm like, hey, it's, you know, Peter Monn, and I live here, and my neighbor across the street, you know, like, whatever, we have a lot of older neighbors, we got a lot of people that walk their kids, we got a lot of dogs in our neighborhood and things like that could fall in this hole. I'm really worried about it. Y'all promised that you're going to come out here and fix the hole, and you didn't do it, right? So I'm like, this is all going on. So then I call the electrical company. Now, the management company said they can't get in touch with the electrical company, okay? And the new president of the HOA, that apparently we didn't vote on her, she just stepped into it because the last president stepped down, and so she stepped into it, said she'd take over. I don't know how that works, okay? When I can't get a vote to save my life in this neighborhood. But apparently, she's a new HOA president. Well, she's been calling and calling and calling, and she can't get a hold of the electrical company, and she can't get a hold of anybody at the electrical company to come out here and fix it, right? Here comes the landscaper. They've been driving down these streets. I ain't seen them touch the grass today to save their life, okay? But I've seen them driving down the street in these electric lawnmowers. Here they come. Turn that machine off, please, so I can film this video. I've been waiting for so long. So I call the electric company. I'm like, no, I've had it with this, okay? So I call the electric company. The management company can't get a hold of anybody. The president of the HOA can't get a hold of anybody. Tell me why in 5 minutes I got a hold of somebody. She was real nice at the electrical company too, and she told me nobody from your neighborhood has even contacted us. I go, how do you know? And she goes, because we would have tickets in for service to come out to your neighborhood. I said, there's not one ticket on there. She goes, no. And so I had a ticket out there. She said, it's a safety issue. I said, oh, it's absolutely a safety issue. She goes, are there any problems in your neighborhood? I gave her address, and so she goes, we're going to put a ticket in. We'll be right out there. We'll be out there in the next 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. I said, okay. She goes, you got sand in your yard? And I go, yeah, but it's not a safety issue. She goes, we'll come out there and fix it too. She goes, are there other issues in your neighborhood? I said, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 houses that are affected. One woman, her entire yard is gone. She goes, that's not acceptable. She goes, we will be coming out there and fixing it. She goes, I really appreciate you calling us because nobody else is calling us. Violation. Yes, ma'am, that's why I should be HOA president. I'm telling you right now, if they come out here and they fix these things, I am running for HOA president, period, end of story. But that's not what this video about. This video is about James Charles' new song. James Charles was at Coachella in a wig. Girl, seriously, listen, man. Let's pull up this picture of James Charles at Coachella, okay? Hold on a second. He had this wig on, right? Are they just riding those things like motorcycles? What is going on? Okay, so James Charles, he goes to Coachella. They just do that for fun. They're not even doing anything. Okay, things have quieted down a little bit in the neighborhood. They're in the corner right now talking. They're having intimate conversations over there. Intimate connections. They're talking about how they're going to pick each other up in the morning to go do the job. What kind of job? The blow job? Call James Charles, he likes says. No, they're talking about how they're going to get them a breakfast sandwich in the morning with some hash browns. That's what they're talking about. That's what you get to hear out here on my front porch. It's so exciting. That's why I talk about Coachella. Can we talk about Coachella for a second before I even get in this picture of James Charles? So, does anybody go to Coachella to actually hear the music? Do they go? I mean, I go to music festivals. You know, my husband, he is good for throwing up a picture of the day of what his outfit is. But then after that, it's all a bunch of videos of DJs and dancing to music and things like that. None of these people that I ever see go to Coachella do I ever see dancing and listening to music. I always just see them sitting in a field, you know, drinking a Truly. And this year they're all wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats, you know, because Beyonce. They're all Cowboy Carter this year because of Beyonce. That's the thing. I would, if I can tell you one outfit, if I were going to go to Coachella, which I would never spend that kind of money because nobody goes for the music. They just go to like hang out in that field and, oh, we're at Coachella. We're at Coachella. I go for the music. One of the reasons why, and we have talked about going to Coachella for the last couple of years, one of the reasons why we haven't gone to Coachella is because when we look at the lineup, there's never really that many people that we want to see, you know? I wanted to see Lana Del Rey for like the last couple of years, but anyway, so, oh my Lord, now come on, y'all were quieting down, talking about your breakfast sandwiches and things like that. So anyway, okay, but I can tell you, if there were one outfit that I would not show up to Coachella in this year, that outfit would be a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. Because you know that you'd be there with 10,000 people. Because have you seen these pictures of Coachella this year? Everybody has cowboy hats and cowboy boots on. Oh my. Oh, you wore cowboy boots and cowboy hat. Where did you come up with that idea? Did you come up with that idea from Beyonce? Oh, girl, please. Okay, so James Charles, he puts up this video on his Instagram. Here he is right here in this wig, okay? I don't know if I can pull it. Oh, here, I can pull it up bigger for you. Here's this wig that he's got on, right? I don't know. What is he think he's Pat Benatar in that wig or something like that? Girl, why are you picking you a Pat Benatar wig from 1985, girl? So he's got this new song coming out. I didn't even know he had a new song coming out. I knew he had a song coming out. I covered that song. But he's got apparently a new song coming out, okay? So, now I can tell you right now, if I showed up at Coachella and I was going to see Lana Del Rey, because I'd only go to see musicians. I wouldn't go to just sit in some field and take pictures of myself, okay? I can do that in my own backyard, right? But I wouldn't listen, because it is expensive. First of all, you got to pay for the tickets to go to Coachella unless you get like backstage passes and artist passes and all that kind of stuff, right? Which they all act like they get, but they don't. So, because then you got to do sponsorships, and then that takes us back to like, remember when James like fucked over Toddy and he did the sugar bear hair instead of Toddy's pills, and then that's what caused the whole rift. And we wouldn't even be sitting here today talking about James Charles probably if he had just listen, if he had probably just done a sponsorship for Toddy Beauty instead of sugar bear hair, we wouldn't even be sitting here today. Coachella done fucked him over. Like I said, why do you keep on going back to the same place that caused you so much pain, James Charles, okay? Coachella, you done fucked up at Coachella years ago when you did the sugar bear hair, the sponsorship says you get you into Coachella, okay? Because the only way, you are so famous and you have done all the makeup on all these musicians, but you can't get into Coachella unless you do it. Can we talk about that for a second? I know how this shit works now. I didn't then, okay? But you don't know nobody that you can't get into VIP or backstage passes or nothing without doing a sponsorship for sugar bear hair. That shit don't work anyway, okay? People will be like, she do. No, she don't. She don't work. None of that shit works. Biotin, okay? We took it in 1982. It still works today. So anyway, I know this isn't a sponsorship about that, but I can tell you right now, okay? If I were going to show up in a wig to Coachella, and I might, I'm gonna get me a bunch of merch that just says she do on it. I'm getting rid of all my merch, and from now on, it's just gonna say she do, okay, on it, she/do, because that's the answer to everything, okay? When you say something about some TV show, do you like it? She do. I'm just gonna say that for everything from now on, she do. I love that so much. But anyway, that's a Peterism. Not like my channel, because we don't talk about she do over there on my channel. But I can tell you right now, okay, if I were going to show up to Coachella, I wouldn't show up with one of them Hair by Jay wigs, girl, one of them Ava Gabor wigs from 1985. Listen, James Charles, you are writing songs about trying to get somebody to do you, okay? Doesn't nobody want to do you anyway, and you're hitting up so many people in your DMs that you got to write a song about people so they hint to them, okay? The song that you're coming out with now is to give people a hint to hit you up in DMs, okay, so that they can do you. Don't nobody want to do you anyway. So you come out, I don't know if Hair by Jay did this wig. Probably not, because he's Jeffree Star's, like, you know, closest friend. Lipstick Nick. Now, she's hanging out with James Charles, so maybe everybody Jay's doing this wig, too. But, girl, that wig is ugly, okay? Last time I said this, people were so bent out of shape. Jeffree Star standing there in a tracksuit, okay? In this updo that looks like a 1950s chiffon updo, chiffon dress with an updo wig at the 1950s prom. And somebody thinks that he's wearing a tracksuit looking like the cool mom from Mean Girls, okay? Not the old version, the new version, which is horrible, by the way. Everybody coming out here being like, the new Mean Girls is so good. She do. Girl, did you watch the same version I did? Because that version sucked, okay? That version sucked. I saw that girl. She was in that movie with Jennifer Garner called The Last Thing You Told Me, which was based on a book, and I read that book. It was on Apple TV. She was fantastic. She sucked, okay? That whole, well, she was okay, but like the movie was horrible. They should never have made that redo of Mean Girls, okay? It was bad. That whole movie was bad. But anyway, Jeffree Star, I'll never forget him standing there with that. He's coming out with he's doing some meat pop-up shop at his store or whatever. But he's standing there in that pink tracksuit with that updo, that hair by Jay, thinking that we are believing, okay, that NFL players and NBA players are dipping him in his DMs to do him and things like that, okay? Looking like somebody's mom chaperoning a prom in 1952. Ain't nobody doing you, Jeffree Star, okay? And James Charles, ain't nobody doing you in that Flock of Seagulls, Pat Benatar 1982 wig. And don't even come for me and say that I am body shaming James Charles or Jeffree Star, okay? A wig is a fucking accessory. It's an accessory. And neither one of them require wearing wigs. So they choose to wear wigs, okay? And it is not my fault. It is not Peter Monn's fault that they chose to wear the two ugliest fucking wigs I have ever seen in my entire life, okay? That's a choice. That is a choice right there, okay? You could have gone to Party City and got a better wig than that, and you might have, okay? But you probably paid $5,000 for that so that you could wear it with some chapless neon outfit out there so you could do a TikTok. That's the other thing. They all go out there to do TikToks and all these kinds of things. They don't go there for the music. They just go there to be seen. Girl, listen, I am too old, and I have lived too much life to just be seen, okay? I can sit here on my front porch and film a video, and a bunch of people will see me, okay? I don't have to fly to the Palm Desert. Trust me, if I'm going to go to the Palm Desert, it's going to be stay in a nice resort and lay by the pool, okay? And be doing it and things like that. Listen, y'all are spending too much time putting outfits together, wearing wigs out there in the fucking 100-degree heat, okay? That is called misery, okay? That is not a fun time, okay? That is called misery. And y'all of you out there meet people and break up and have relationship issues, and you just sit in the field and drink a bunch of Trulies and make bad choices. That's what Coachella is. Why do you even want to go? I didn't see one of you influencers out there even post nothing about Lana Del Rey and getting on a motorcycle. That was the moment at Coachella. Y'all missed that moment, okay? Because you're out there taking TikToks and all this kind. So I get this text message from Dustin Daly yesterday, okay? So Dustin Daly made this video about this new song that James Charles come out with. And his video is called Exposing James Charles and his creepy new song, Can We Just Be Friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't... Y'all remember that? Now that was a banger back in the day. They even put it in that movie Dazed and Confused. So he texted me and said, you need to make this video about his lyrics. I was like, girl, I didn't even know James Charles was coming out with a new song. This is where people are like, oh, them drama channels, they are ate up with it. They are online 24 hours a day looking at... Girl, please now. She do. I didn't even know James Charles. Attitude check. I didn't even know. For those of you that don't know, when you say attitude check, you say F you after that. Attitude check. Okay, I didn't even know James Charles was coming out with a new song, okay? I mean, listen, I am so behind the times on this stuff. Unless I'm going to make a video about it, I don't look into this stuff at all, okay? I didn't even know James Charles was going to Coachella. I didn't even know he was at Coachella until people started sending this stuff to me. So I said, because he said, you need to make this video about his lyrics. And I said, I just saw that you posted it. I'll do it tomorrow. So we're texting about some other stuff. And I texted him on my way home today, you know, from my haircut. I got my haircut. Did I show you all right? Okay. So anyway, you can make fun of this all you want. Okay. You can body shame me with my hair. Oh, his hair's white and all that. Okay, get over it. So anyway, I said, what's James Charles' song called so I can look up these lyrics? I said to Dustin, right? Girl, why does he copy and paste the lyrics for me and not just send me the link to what the song is called? Like, I'm going to read these lyrics and not have the song name on it. Dustin Daly, I know you. You do better research than that, girl, okay? Anyway, so I said, LOL, what is the song called, girl? And he goes, Can We Just Be Friends? It's not out yet. The song is literally screaming that he's a predator. And I'm like, oh, I gotta read this. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait till I get home. And I'm gonna sit on my front porch, you know, she did. And I'm gonna sit out here, I'm gonna drink my coffee, and then I'm going to read these lyrics. You know? And let's see what we think about these lyrics. Okay, so here it is. Can we just be friends? It's not out yet, apparently. My battery died, and I had to go inside and get a new battery right as I was getting these lyrics. So anyway, this video, she don't want to be made today. She don't. She do. She do. Okay. Okay, so let's get in these lyrics. So here we go. They say insanity is to do something about 1,000,000 times and hope it comes out differently. Is that what they say, girl? She do. That's a question. No, actually what they say is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Okay, and that's actually the definition that we use in recovery relating to addiction. Okay, so what are you addicted to here, girl? James Charles, are you saying that you're addicted to hitting at people to be your friend, but to be more than friends? Oh, girl, is this going back to your holding myself accountable? Okay, so let's go back in time. So James Charles had many allegations. He said all of them were lies, none of them were true. Then came out with his holding himself accountable video because there was actually evidence to that, which people like to forget. That there was actually evidence that he was having conversations with at least two minors. He came out in that video and he apologized to those 2 minors. Then he took that video down. Then he doubled down and apologized again in his open conversation video. And so then he came out and said he was never going to use social media apps as dating apps again, that he wasn't going to be in his DMs and things like that, right? Then he said in his holding myself accountable video that he's always wanted to date somebody his age or older, but in the Logan Paul interview, he said he wanted to date somebody that looked as close to 18 as possible. So he's now 5, wanted to date somebody that looks 18, so he's I don't know. I don't get it, okay? But his story completely constantly changes. So then he comes out in the Cosmopolitan article this year, the one that says, please uncancel me, even though he's not uncanceled, because he still has thriving careers, making millions of dollars a year, lives in a $10 million home in Los Angeles. That was in the Cosmopolitan article too, bought his parents a home, on and on and on. So he's not canceled. We know James Charles is not canceled, right? He's at Coachella living his best life. Trust me, if you were canceled, you might be working double shifts at Burger King or White Castle or Crystal's trying to pay your rent on your 250 square foot apartment in West Hollywood. You're not. You're living in a $10 million home, spending your weekend at Coachella. So you're not canceled, okay? So this whole bullshit of please uncancel me, I don't even want to hear about it anymore, right? But he comes out in this Cosmopolitan article and he says in there that he's like a doorman in his DMs, which means he still is in his DMs talking to people, okay? Which we're not even going to get into all that. So when he's talking about doing something over and over again expecting different results, which is the definition of insanity by addictions terms, okay? So are you saying that you are addicted to talking to little boys in your DMs, girl? Is that what you're talking about, okay? Or who are you hitting up? Because the other people that you hit up in there were straight men trying to coerce them that they were bisexual or gay or bi-curious, okay? So are you talking about minors? Are you talking about that your addiction of doing something over and over again? Because I really haven't heard that definition applied to much of anything else other than addiction. So, okay, but let's get back into this. I guess that I'm insane. Oh, so you are saying that you're... Okay, so you're saying it's a definition of insanity is doing something over and over again expecting different results. And now you're coming out and you're saying that you guess you're insane. What you're saying is that you continue to do the same things over and over again expecting different results. Because that's the definition of insanity by your terms and by addiction's terms. So what you're saying is you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. Dipping into people's DMs. Is that what you're talking about? Trying to coerce people to think that they're bisexual that they aren't. So what you're saying is this is a song admitting that you haven't changed. Oh, okay, girl. Okay. Are you entertained? No, not really. I'm not. Not at all. I actually think it's fucking sick, if you want to know the truth. And I think you need help. And I think that instead of getting in a video and saying that you really figured it out and what you figured out is that you're desperate, what you should have said is, I really figured out that instead of spending $10,000 to make assless chaps costumes from Coachella so I can make more videos and TikToks of myself at Coachella wearing assless chaps that I think are really funny, maybe I should spend that $10,000 on therapy to go towards trying to figure out what really is the issue, because the issue isn't really that I'm desperate. The issue is that I cannot stop talking to people that are inappropriate for me to talk to. That probably is something that you should look into. But no, I'm not entertained at all. I haven't been entertained by you for years, okay? Not with your smoke and mirrors act of how you faked your way into fame anyway, and we all know that too, right? You said I was beautiful. Ooh, girl. Who said you were beautiful? Oh, Miss Toddy Westbrook. Is this a message to Miss Toddy Westbrook? Who told you were beautiful, girl? Okay, a 14-year-old that was trying to dip in your DMs to try to get a plane ticket? Girl, okay, who are you talking to here? Who is this about? Is this your Adele moment? Did you have a relationship and we didn't know it? I think we would know that. I think if James Charles had a relationship, if James Charles had a boyfriend that was on the up and up that would actually claim him, okay, and that was of age and that wasn't coerced into any kind of relationship, you think James Charles wouldn't throw that picture of him up all over the place? No. Okay. So then James Charles says, yeah, the long nights and the long flights. Okay, girl. Oh, so now this is about you flying all over the world. When you got on the Logan Paul interview and said, most of the people that you are interested in, they can't leave high school, okay, to fly out and meet you, and they can't afford a plane ticket, which is why you have to pay for them. You said that. Those were your words, okay, that they're still in high school. You try to, like, cover that up real quick, but you said that, okay? So, long flights, I don't know from where. Nebraska, Oklahoma, middle of nowhere, these people that you find on Instagram and TikTok, that you dip into their DMs, they don't dip into your DMs, okay? Because how would you see it? This is the thing I don't understand, and I will never understand this, okay? If I go into my Instagram DMs, which is where he hides out, is in his Instagram DMs and his TikTok DMs. I don't even remember the last time I went into my TikTok DMs, years and years and years ago, and I ain't been on Snapchat, and I mean probably 5 or 6 years. But anyway, he says that people DM him, okay? Well, I can tell you right now, just going into my Instagram DMs, well, I don't get off this picture, hold on a second. So just going into my Instagram DMs, I am constantly getting, you can see right here, I just checked it right before I started making this video, and I already got 2 new DMs, okay? These are all the DMs that I have replied to, like, in the last week. Now, if you go underneath here to requests, I have tons and tons of requests. I don't even look at those, okay? Because they don't come up for me. So how is it that James Charles, okay, is he so going through his DMs that he is looking for the requests, that somebody is requesting him and saying, hey, I just want to be your friend, and that's how the conversation starts, and then he's coerced? You have to go to such lengths to go through your DMs, okay? I am nobody on the level of James Charles. Let's just put this in perspective, okay? I am nobody on the level of James Charles, okay? I hardly ever respond to my DMs unless it's somebody that I've responded to before. And usually, like, I can show you this right here, okay? Somebody will send me a, like, they'll respond to something about, hold on just a second, something about, like, here's somebody that sent me something about Bravo, or they'll send me, like, a picture of, you know, like, here's about the Jenks, the new documentary that's coming out. These are the kind of DMs that I get. Or if here's somebody send me a picture of a dog. Nice DMs, right? So, I'm not, listen, maybe I'm not on the level of James Charles. I mean, I'm 51, okay? But what I don't understand is, you are not being hit up by that many people, okay? I don't buy that. And the 99% of my audience is women anyway, and I know that. And I know that the majority of his audience is women too. So you are having to go through those DMs and look for it, okay? To reach out to the people that you're wanting to hit up, okay? That's the reality, all right? So anyway, so somebody told him he was beautiful and that your emotions were available. What does that even mean, girl? Your emotions were available. I don't think in my 51 years, okay, and I've dated my fair share of people. She do, okay? She has. And I don't think I have ever said to somebody, my emotions are available. Is that some songwriting bullshit that you think you're Taylor Swift these days? You aren't. She do, but you don't, okay? And you aren't. And I don't know what that is. Your emotions are available. What does that mean? I like you, you like me, something like that? This is so weirdly, right? Okay, yeah, the long nights and the long flights. Oh, wait, I skipped to that part before then. Okay, so I skipped the whole emotions were available, probably because it was so bad, I was like, I gotta skip over that part. Okay, you were feeling it. Feeling what, girl? I would have said something so bad. Girl, feeling what? Feeling what, girl? Now, you've taken it to a whole other level. You were feeling the relationship, or you were feeling... Girl, you gonna write a song about that? This reminds me of back in the day when I was single, listening to that Trina song, I'm Single Again. Girl, this is, woo! This is dirty. Okay. And then you said, then you promised that I wasn't an experiment. Oh, no, because you'd already done that science experiment, right? You'd already done those science experiments with those gerbils. And by those gerbils, I mean those minors that you were talking to in your DMs and those straight guys that you were coercing to be your boyfriend. Remember the application that you put out? My job as my boyfriend, it's pretty lucrative. All you have to do this and free head and all that kind of stuff and live in a $10 million home. That's what you were sending to those straight guys. Remember that, James Charles? Okay, that. That right there, okay, that people like to forget. That you were putting out. Were those lyrics to another song, girl? You promised that I wasn't an experiment. You said you've never done this before. Well, they probably haven't, because they're like 12 or 14, girl. Okay, same breath, you said you want this for sure. Where is it going out of the lyrics now? Okay, same breath, you said you want this for sure. For sure, for sure. Or for sure, for sure, for sure. Oh, for sure. Okay, girl. So I said, can we go to bed? And you said, can we just be friends? Girl, I'm telling you right now, yeah, okay? You are a mess, okay? This is the Predator's anthem right here, okay? I'm telling you right now. Why you would even think... This is what is so problematic about James Charles, okay? You can write a song about anything in the world, okay? You can write a song about hanging out with all your good friends. You can write a song about your dogs. You can write a song about being the richest boy makeup person at your age. You can write a song about being on the Ellen DeGeneres show. You can write a song about... You know, I don't know, 1,000,001 things. Ice cream cones, mice, okay? You could write a song about anything, okay? Hell, Stevie Nicks wrote a song about white-winged doves. You could sing a song about fucking anything in the entire world. You choose to write a song, okay, about how you are addicted to dipping into people's DMs and you can't stop and they don't want you because they're too young. Girl, you thought that was a good choice. Because you can read through the lyrics and you can see that right there, okay? Let's just be fair for you for a second, okay? If the song is not about that, then what the song is that you keep on hitting on these people, okay? What you're going to tell the song is about is that you feel used, because that's always your go-to, is that people use me because I'm not James Charles, I'm James Dickinson. No, you're James Charles, that's your stage name, okay? Like, there's a million stars out there that they done left their names when they got famous, okay? They're not crying a river, okay, on videos, apologizing for doing wrong things and saying things, well, I'm not, you know, Judy Smith, I'm actually, you know, Judy Schlegel Smith, and I dropped the Schlegel for just to be Judy Smith, and now I'm just Jay Smith. Girl, listen, it don't matter if you're James Dickinson, James Charles, James who the fuck ever, okay? You still did the same thing, no matter what your name was, okay? And we ain't never gonna forget, okay? We ain't never gonna forget what you did. Some people out there want to forget, okay, so they can get them free backstage passes to Coachella. But listen, some of us ain't never going to forget, okay? And I'm one of those people that ain't going to never forget. So what you're basically saying is, you're addicted on trying to find relationships with people that don't really want you. Okay, well, have you looked at why that is? Are you maybe hitting on the wrong kind of people? I'm just saying, like, straight people and minors might not be the people that you want to hit on, you know? I'm thankful at 51 years old for all of the heterosexual straight allies that I have had in my life, okay? That I did not bridge that gap. And yes, many of them were very attractive, and I found them attractive. I never overstepped those boundaries because I was so thankful that I had allies in my corner that were willing to stand up for me and back me up, right? You don't always have to go for that. That's why I have such a huge issue with the straight fantasy that all of you and your friends like Manny play into, right? Because for years, ever since I've come out, okay, in 1990, which you weren't even alive yet, back then, the whole thing was, okay, and why gay men and women had to hide for years and years and years, and why bisexual people to this day still get such a horrible rap, okay? And why trans people are killed every single day in our country, all right? And why the LGBTQIA plus community is still under attack today, much of which is because they believe we are recruiting people. So when you're hitting on straight people, all right, and you're doing that openly, and you think it's cute, and you think it's funny to kiss somebody's cheek, and make a TikTok out of that, and play into that straight fantasy, you're playing into the ideology that people in the LGBTQIA plus community are trying to recruit people into what we live, okay? When that is absolutely 100% fucking false, at least from my experience. I don't know for you, because you've tried to get a lot of straight people to be bi-curious, okay? And you cannot do that, all right? You just can't. You can't do it because it's not the right thing to do, and you can't do it because it's not going to happen, okay? You just can't. You can't because you want an apple to be an orange, just make an apple an orange. It's just not how it is, all right? And the further thing is, if you want people to respect our sexual orientation, okay, and how we live our lives and who we love, then you have to respect them as well. And you don't, because you're constantly trying to coerce these people and go, well, maybe you're a little bit gay. How do you know? Have you ever tried it? I'm like, that whole thing to me is, that needs to just be taken off the board, okay? That takes us back 50 fucking years, right? And it's not cute at all. And you're feeding into that. And this song feeds into that. And this song, girl, I don't know. It says a lot more than I would ever want any song to say. Girl, this was not the song. I think you better, before you release this song, okay, I think you better think about what this song really says, okay? And if you're actually going to put this song out there and you're going to put on there these words, then just call it for what it is, you know? But this is the birthday cake, okay? And I did it and you did it at my birthday party. That's his friend making him that cake and him holding up that cake for his Instagram thinking that that's funny. This is, again, James Charles poking the bear and making fun of the allegations from the past, right? Because he told himself a lie for so long that he believed it. A lot of people do that. They tell themselves a lie for a long time. I never did anything wrong, blah, 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 whatever. People started to believe it. His friends started to believe it. Now he believes it, that he never did anything wrong, right? Well, tell it to those 2 victims, okay? Tell it to these other people out there, you know? This song, girl, she wasn't it, okay? But you probably already know that, don't you, girl? I almost went in my Cher voice. You probably already know that because you got JoJo Siwa out there. She's putting out bangers, isn't she, girl? You and JoJo Siwa, you're going to go on tour together. You know, Predator Protector tour. That would be the tour that you should go on, girl. Not. But she probably will. She do. She don't care. She don't care. So anyway, James Charles already knows. This is the really sad thing about it. This is why it's important to keep the story of Colleen Ballinger alive. James Charles already knows he got away with this shit. That's why he can put this song out there. He knows. I already got away with this shit. Ain't nothing y'all are going to do it against me, and nobody cares anyway. And I'm still getting invited to every red carpet event. I'm still doing sponsorships. I'm still making $1 million a year or more. And y'all ain't never going to affect me. I got fucking away with it. That's what he knows, okay? And the entitlement and the stuff that backs it up. If we had caught James Charles back then and people had held him accountable and not forgotten back then, he wouldn't be putting this song out today. But he is, and makeup brands, and on and on and on. But, you know, the power really lies with all of us that are watching these people. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys. You know she do. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.